Moving up and down again, there's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
No, I'm Tommy.
And today, I think we're going to be defining magic for our audience. I think there's a pretty predominant misconception, that magic is this fairy tale hoo-ha thing. So we want to try to demystify it, bring it into reality, talk about what we think about it, maybe just shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah, that too.
We don't have.
It's in the spirit of magic too. You know, magic being all over the place. So.
Oh well, 'tis the
Same
season.
thing as this episode. It's gonna be all over the place.
Right. So there is. There's something magical about this, you could say. You know, we're able to communicate across vast distances.
Yeah.
We're able to bring our words to the people, again, across vast distances, but then
real
also,
time.
I was going to say across time.
Crazy.
But then on top of that, like, we're making these noises with our mouth flaps, and people are able to understand what we're saying. And we could even garble that up to be really simple, like I did in a previous episode, where you could say something like, you know, we human just words, and then other human on other side of screen brains the words, and brain makes words sound good. And like people get like could understand like a deeper meaning. You know, you could tear that apart and put it eloquently in your own frame of context. Something magical to that. And I think it comes from like a word. For me, it's like the magic is tied to words, and words have power. Speech has power. Your intentions have power. But let's
like just our brain. I think that kind of what you were saying, it makes it, the whole thing is magic. You know, all of life, everything incorporated in just like existence. And that it's more so of like a perception of, it's perception in general, it's consciousness in general that generates it, makes it. Because you can have something ordinary like the internet, like what we're doing right now. And most people are like, oh yeah, that's just a thing. But like this thing originated as a thought. And it was like a crack brain thought for the longest time throughout human history. Like, what? Talk to people across the world instantaneously, see their faces on a screen? Like, what? Crazy. And it originated in someone's head and then just into the world, you know? Your perceptions are building the whole thing. This was a fairy tale to even begin with for the longest time. But in accordance with people's will and whatever, it just comes into a like reality. It's insane. Human beings, little antennas. So we can just kind of make it happen.
Why do you think that people dismiss magic? Why do you think people don't think magic exists, or that it's fake and fantasy? Like, where does that all come from?
It's too ordinary.
How does everybody
just
been so blue-pilled about that?
It's a natural thing. And we do it all the time without even really recognizing it. And it gets trivialized and turned into just kind of like, whatever, you know? And then categorized through like language, through how our language even works. Turns it into, you know, just little boxes, normalized,
do you think there's been a conscious push through the media, or say like universities, through science, through education,
100%.
through the government?
100%.
Because like you go back to ancient cultures, and there's always like a shaman or like a priest that does magic. Like we're reading the Bible, you go back to Egypt, Pharaoh had magicians that were able to copy what Moses was able to do. But then you also have, I don't know, there's all sorts of examples, like again, the shaman for one, but like there's the alchemists, like that was more recent history. That's like what, the 1400s they were doing alchemy, if I'm not mistaken. Or trying to do alchemy.
I think
alchemy's like a form of magic. And it's
yeah.
These things were, and like Eastern mysticism, like they pretty much accepted magic, it seems, until fairly recently. So I just wonder, like, how long has it been since it's been this like dismissed as fake thing? Like when, because I guess maybe there's still parts of the world that still believe. There's still people within our
100%.
part of the world that still believe. But I think very much it was the media that made us stop believing. And you can go even further back than before TV, but radio. There were all these radio shows, all these radio broadcasts. Before that, you've got just books and stories of fiction. And people like to be inflammatory when they're recalling their own history, when you're recalling fact, nonfiction. People like to say, oh, well, the fish that I caught that was this big was actually this big, and we fought him for hours, and the storm was crazy. And so like things do get blown out of proportion. Like Tommy said, I do think it is very much a natural thing that is kind of happening all the time, every day around you. And you can tap into it, you can harness it, there definitely, I believe, is people casting powerful magic, but you gotta understand how it works. And a good thing about understanding about how it works is you can kind of be more immune to it if you know it's coming your way. But that,
I think the alchemy thing, I think kind of what you like, we could even think about it from that type of a standpoint, where they were trying like experiments. They wanted to know how things worked in like science. It's the same type of thing, but it's kind of like it's been put into too narrow of an understanding modernly. But I think that it's kind of what we do. We try to figure out the world, we try to figure out how things happen, and from that we can kind of do things in the world.
right.
And I think that kind of like intuition and like certain things like that, they're senses that we have and we use them every day. But like we're kind of in a phase of like perception as like culture and as a world now, where it's pretty narrow. So like we don't really connect things like kind of like our ancestors really did. Like, look how they wrote, look how they spoke, look how they understood their world.
Right.
We're pretty narrow-minded now, and I think it's been kind of more of like more of an effort.
Have you seen the fucking trend that goes around on TikTok from time to time where they're like, what flavor is 8? Or like, what color is 7? And people like ascribe these benefits to or these like attributes to things that don't necessarily go like a color to 8. Some people would say purple, whatever.
Like synesthesia.
So like those things do actually have values. Like there is throughout history an assigned color for a number. There's an assigned like value for things. And like the words themselves kind of like unfold as you use them in the proper way. And our language, I feel like, is reductive in that point. And as the generations go on, you see it becoming more and more simplistic. Like people used to speak eloquently. And there was a way where, like, you read this, like, not necessarily Shakespearean, but, like, older timey shit, you know, when people talk that really eloquent way, you, like, really understand what they're saying.
Poetic.
Instead
like
of,
poetic.
like, this urban speak, this fucking Ebonese speak where everything's super simplified and you can just infer anything from what anybody says, and it's almost like text messaging. Like, you can just decide what the other person is saying because their words don't mean anything.
Yeah. You ascribe your own meaning.
Yeah.
You know? It's just little symbols. And that's what you're talking about. It's symbols.
Right.
There's like
it's like we make noises with our mouth, and we all as a human race, or not as a human race, but these each other
agreed upon.
Yeah, everybody that speaks this language understands that these noises mean these things. But when you start to muddy those waters and make up new words and get rid of old words and make slang that can just mean whatever, then what means anything anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, the symbols thing is, I feel like it could also be, the whole thing could be broken down into, like, there's like a esoteric science, and then there is, like, official sciences. Esoteric science is, like, more of the understanding of, like, reality on a metaphysical to physical type level, and, like, a spiritual level. I think spirit's been cut out of, like, official sciences now, and that by doing that, it's neutered the whole thing, you know, and just in that, it has an effect on our consciousness and our awareness and our perception. So, like, learning these modalities at such a young age, you know, like through the public school system, it neuters spirit out of everything. And as soon as it does that, it's wiring your subconscious. It's wiring you. So when you learn systems and you're learning them minus spirit, you're going to be more physical. You're not going to see the connections. So, like, occult and esoteric sciences and understandings, teachings, and everything, they don't really exclude that. They bind it together. They'll find connections between the physical, spirit, and mental types planes of existence and create understandings through that. Like tasting 8 or seeing a color for 8. When you take atoms, the smallest things, you know, and you break them down, they're frequency based. You know, you can take a drop of water, run sound through it, and you'll come up with a pattern. And it's all frequency based.
Right.
Plus whatever material, you know. So one would be like a whole frequency. And as you split it, and as you either split it or multiply it, it changes it. So with 8, you would have a certain frequency, and that frequency has a color. So you could see 8 as a color, because if you were to break 8 into a frequency based off of some universal understanding of frequencies, you could get that. You could be like, okay, 8 is actually like red. And that's like
is 8 red to you?
Undertone of, I mean, it could be. I don't know.
I feel like
I don't know,
purple.
honestly. Purple?
Yeah. That's what
You're
it feels
probably
like
right. Because mine was like a dark red.
Yeah.
It was like a dark red is what I was thinking, yeah. But, I mean, like McDonald's, like this gets used in like advertisement.
Yeah, so like...
You know, McDonald's colors, they instill hunger. You know, like there's the chakra systems and everything. All of this ties together, you know? And when you're a master magician, you're able to do all this stuff, and people just respond, you know? And that's kind of what it is. Like these ad people, you know, like ad scientist people, whatever that's called. They go to school for it, you know what I mean? And they learn advertising.
And
they're
like,
kind of like little wizards, man. They really are.
Yeah, if you want to forget about the magic and wipe out the hoo-ha, just understand that these people, there's been a science and a research and an attempt to understand how the human brain works for decades and centuries.
Yep.
Like, people have been writing it down and trying to figure it out forever. So we now have come to such an understanding where people know how to control and trigger and manipulate and subconsciously influence people to such a degree that you can get them to do just about whatever you want with simple things like color and logo arrangement and symbols and smells, all these things. And we'll call it magic because it has such an influence. It does such a thing. It's like casting a spell.
Yes.
Like, if it helps.
I want to give a definition that is a very good definition. It comes from a shitty person, but it's a good definition of what it is. And the guy is Aleister Crowley. Anybody who's listening that is into this
The beast.
shit, you know the guy. And huge piece of shit, but also dove into some crazy shit. But his
Huge
definition of magic is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. It's such a
Read it again.
perfect
I yawned.
explanation.
I lost it.
Okay.
The people want to hear it twice.
Okay, so
People
his
wanna hear it
definition
again.
of magic is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will.
Science and art.
Of causing change.
Yeah.
Any change.
Right. In conformity and
occur.
will.
In conformity with will.
So we're not
That
talking
is
about
perfect.
hoo-ha. We're not talking about hoo-ha.
No.
It's science
No.
and art. What are we talking about here? This is a science that people have done for centuries to understand how the human brain works. And you're
And
using...
it's all based on your will.
and it's done like an art.
Mm-hmm.
In such a way that they consider it an art. And yeah,
they make it into like degrees, they make it into things, like you get like therapy, like therapists and psychology,
I had this.
Like math, like all of these things, they aid in that. And it's a very simple but very good way of defining it. It really is. It's actually like a thing of its own, because your will is like the end goal. It's like the motivating force.
Right.
And then the science is just a method, and the art is another method that you use along the way to get there.
Right.
You want a desired change, then, there's certain things you got to do. And it doesn't really matter what that is. The magic is how it happened to get there. And it could be whatever, freaking you're trying to get someone to do what you want them to do. Like, there's all sorts of ways that you could do that, that would be the understanding of it. And that's usually what like magicians are trying to do, is they're trying to get their minds to change. So the magic that they're using is to switch how their minds work. And by doing that, it changes their reality around them. They can bring certain things to them, just by changing how they're acting or how they're thinking about things. And it goes back to that like frequency type of understanding. When you resonate with something, you're around it and it comes to you more naturally. Like if you don't resonate with something, it's not going to come around you, or it's going to be tougher to. And even if it was around you, would you accept it? Would it, be something that would become a part of you?
Right. So now you're getting into the idea of manifestation.
It's all the same.
I mean, yeah.
It all works together.
Right.
But yes, the idea that manifestation shit is kind of legit, Now, if you just think that you're going to have $1 million, like, and it's just going to show up in your mailbox, that's not how it works,
Right.
you know?
So the core idea of the manifestation thing breaks down to like the double slit experiment. Like you shoot these photons through a slit, and when you're observing it, they behave in a way that you would expect them to while you're observing it. And when you don't, they behave erratically because nobody's there to observe it. So that's almost as if to say your perception of the thing changes the reality. So if you have a genuine belief that what you're doing is going to do XYZ, then there's a very good chance that it will do XYZ. And if you in fact know the science and the art to make it so, then your chances go up even higher.
Yep. Yep.
So for not my understanding, I guess my thought, I don't go back much further. I got to do more research, but my thought is ancient Rome is probably like the big tipping point, the big turning point where like man was really trying to control their own society, their own civilization, because it feels like, and again, I need to do more research. I'm a fucking idiot over here, but it feels like before then, it's like everybody agrees kind of with the group of people that they're living with, you know, like these are my people, we're doing this thing. And then Rome's like, we got all these people, we got to make them do what we want them to do, essentially. Like before that, it's like if the people weren't doing what you wanted them to do, you killed them or got rid of them, you know? You weren't like keeping people that didn't believe in your system.
Yeah.
Until
it would make the system stronger.
Yeah, until like Rome. And they're like, let's fucking distract them with coliseums and all this art and food. Yep. Yeah. But like, while I was thinking that, I'm like, well, they're sitting in these courtyards talking about philosophy, and like what I'm saying is like 4 centuries we've been trying to understand the thoughts of man, what drives man, how to fucking control them, and what makes them do what they do. And that's what they did. They sat around in their courtyards and they talked about these things. So just like today, it's like we're not allowed to go sit in the World Economic Forum and actually listen to all these things that they're saying. And back in the day, the regulars weren't allowed to go sit at the courtyard and talk with the philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. Like, I don't think maybe they could. I might be mistaken. But I would say Joe Schmo probably wasn't able to go up in there and hold court with everybody else. That was probably more of like a secluded thing, and it wasn't until later on that like these writings are published about them. I think that most people
probably weren't even doing that, you know, like they were
again,
too
this
busy
is just
plowing their
inference. I don't
or...
fucking know anything. But the idea is that like
we're both morons in the whole thing, but whatever.
The idea is that they were indeed coming up with techniques, and you can read about Aristotle's techniques that he's come up with to control man, what man wants and how you give it to him to get what you need out of him. And it was Aristotle's idea that some men were meant to rule and some men were meant to serve. And I feel like ever since then there has been this understanding that all men are not equal, and there certainly are some that are better and some that are meant to serve, and it's how do you keep the subservient, or the ones that are quote unquote meant to be. And
that's what we got going on today with like our government and with these like corporations, is just the end result of that until modern time. You know? It went all the way from there and their understandings, and just kept, you know, through just the power structures. Mm-hmm. They got them pretty good at it too, you know. So they got like books on the shit.
I'm gonna go. I know most of them off the top of my head, but oh shit, let's not do that.
Oh, it's freaking cold in here,
man. All right, continue. I'm sorry, I'm fucking distracted.
I just think it's I just think it's kind of funny. I already told you about this, but it's cold, winter, and a little example, little story of some type of little bit of magic. I don't know how it works, but I think it's freaking funny. Um, so I have this snowblower. It's old, and it gave me the hardest time this year. First time snowblowing. I'm like pulling it for like 40 minutes, and it wouldn't work. Not even a little bit. I'm like, this is crazy because last year, all it took was one pull, 1 to 3 pulls, and that thing started up nice. And my pops, he is a like world class mechanic. Guy's just really good with machines. He's got the mojo. All right, and he was working on it over the summer, and he said starts up easy, no big deal. Thing just starts up, and I'm like, yeah, I know it does, but
I
for some
forgot this
reason,
tied into the magic conversation. I'm like, you're
yeah,
really talking about the snowblower right now?
To me, yes, yes. And
But no, I get it. Continue.
yeah, and so the first time I'm snowblowing this year, I cannot get this thing to start. And I knew my dad was on his way home, drives past like where I live on his way home from work. And I'm like, hey, need you to stop in and help me out with the snowblower, man. I can't get it to start. And I'm doing it right. I've got the choke on, I've got throttle up. Freaking pull it hard, and it'll start. It's supposed to. Wasn't starting. I call him up, he stops in, takes him freaking 2 pulls, and the fucking thing starts. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course, it's Dad. Now, this happens all the time with Dad. With me, like all the time. Whenever there's something that I'm having trouble with.
And some would just say it's like dad
mechanically,
energy, but that's a thing, like dad energy, like maybe that is a little bit of dad magic,
Literally,
like
dude,
people
literally.
say it and don't even think about it.
Now, to progress this story, so the other day, I had, like 2 days ago, had to snowblow again. And I'm kind of nervous about it, like I want this fucking thing to start. And I go out there, bro, for an hour straight, I'm fucking trying to get that thing to start. It wouldn't start again. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, the dad mojo. I'm like, okay. So finally, I didn't want to call him because I want to be like, dude, I don't need you to get this thing. I know how to get it started, And reluctantly, I end up messaging him. And I'm like, hey, send me a prayer and a little bit of your mojo. I need this frickin' thing to start. And he ends up calling me and talking to him, and he's like, you know what, if you need me to, I can come over. I'll be there in 15 minutes. And I'm like, no, you don't have to. Let me see if I can get this thing started. He's like, no, don't even touch it. I'll be over there and we'll get it started. And I'm like, all right. I hang up the phone with him, and I put my shit on, and I rush out there. I'm like, I'm going to get this fucking thing started. And as soon as I got out there, 2 pulls, fucking thing started. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I called him up, and I'm like, see, all you had to do was threaten to come over and hand me a little bit of mojo, and the fucking thing starts. After a full hour of trying to get that thing to start, and it wouldn't start. And it's like magic, dude. And it happens a lot like that with him. Like, he'll tell you stories all the time of like people that he interacts with all the time because he's the mechanic guy, always fixing everybody's shit. And they're having some issue with it. They're doing shit the way they're supposed to. It's just as soon as he's around it, it yields. Mechanical shit yields to that man. And I call it magic. I call it magic, dude, because it is. He's got control of the gremlins.
So
I fully believe it.
I'm going to share my screen for a moment. Well, actually, I want to start with this first. So I was looking up a list of the different kinds of magic to just see if we can come up with examples of them in reality. I've got like the D&D magic, and then I've got like magic from different sources of literature all combined together into a list of 13 kinds of magic. So elemental magic. Control over fire, water, earth, and air. And I guess if we're talking D&D magic, that could be evocation, I guess. Or abjuration.
Yeah, and then you're going to have, like, people magic.
So, like,
where you're able to manipulate
the elemental
people
magic,
like,
control over fire, water, earth, and air. You've got them cloud seeding, trying to make clouds and rain. The rain could affect the tide.
Yeah.
That fucking black mass that came from Antarctica and created tidal waves.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
Yeah, like this is all. And even if it's physical control, like you're using a plane to cloud seed, like nothing magic is. There's no magic about that. But you're still doing a thing that if you were to tell a barbarian, they would consider you a sorcerer.
They would have no, you know, literally.
Alchemical magic blends science and magic into to transform or transmute. So alchemy, like making potions, making poisons, like you see the witch in her brew. Look at all of our fucking food ingredients lists. Go to the grocery store and look at any piece of food and tell me that's not alchemy. Tell me they're not fucking making poisons and brews and fucking trying to use us as lab rats to see what happens. Like, it's crazy because right now in America they're doing a thing because of RFK Jr. and a little bit of credit to him because I was hoping he was going to do a lot more. He's doing a little bit. He's also being a fucking fagtard.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm not understanding what the hell is going on with that whole thing.
Yeah, I think he's pressured like everybody else. But
yeah,
there's now this trend because nobody's forced to yet. Some people are getting on the bandwagon early of releasing foods that are more natural and no food coloring and like all natural ingredients, no GM fucking bullshit.
Organic.
It's like, why weren't you doing that before? I can now look at something where the ingredients list used to be like this and now it's like this, and it still says from bioengineered food, but it's 100 less ingredients in the product, and it's like, why weren't you doing this from the start? Now it's so clear that you were intentionally poisoning us. What are we talking about? The products are the same price, so don't tell me it was more expensive or whatever. Like, oh, we need the more preservatives because of X, Y. No. Like, it was like this in other countries, and now you guys got to do it here, and fuck you.
Well,
like, you all deserve to burn. You should all be held accountable.
When you have people poisoned and, like, intentionally, like, intoxicated with toxins, it makes them like operate at a lower frequency.
Yeah.
It makes their perceptions lower.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do if you want to
cast spells easily over people.
Yeah. If you want to make them susceptible, if you want to make them fall in line.
Yeah, these things work in tandem with one another. It's not like
that's a fact.
It's not like one thing is happening, like you're getting fucking hit from every different angle.
Yep. Full spectrum dominance.
And it really is like you're being enchanted when all these things are happening to you. You could call it, if it's not magic or enchantment, you can look at CIA documentation of how they tortured and mind-controlled people into submission and say, if that's not the fucking same thing as what's going on with every human being on the planet, like...
Yeah, literally.
That doesn't have enough money to have any semblance of freedom. After alchemical, you got blood magic. People speculate that these elites are doing crazy blood magic. You have the wiped emails from the Pizzagate stuff where like Hillary Clinton was wearing the face of a child.
Frazzle drip.
Yeah. I can't think of any other like good instances people could look up, but adrenochrome shit, if anybody knows.
Adrenochrome is it.
I mean, yeah, but like, what are the sources? What do you tell? Like, you got the you know.
I don't know the sources of really.
All I know is like a really good source is the frazzle drip, Comet Pizza, the fucking
the
Pizzagate shit. That's the only real good one, but the
sacrificing
adrenochrome
shit.
conspiracy, because it's unfounded, has a lot of really good shit to it, though. It's very believable, and that is like blood magic. So if you believe that people are up to that sort of shit, then they're certainly doing blood magic. That's what that is. If adrenochrome, let's clarify it, people don't fucking know, adrenochrome would be a naturally occurring substance that is released when somebody is under extreme duress, correct?
It's adrenalized blood.
Essentially, yes. Now they would take this from a child during the time that they're releasing it, so not post-mortem, while they're alive. They're actually like extracting it through some sort of method that people are calling a ritual. It could be more scientific, it could just be a needle in the spine, extract the whatever it is. But it's ascribed as a ritual that they're
I think nowadays they do it like in a lab, like they can just get their adrenochrome. But I think that like back in the day, it would just torture their victims.
Right, it's portrayed as like torture and then slay them,
Yeah.
and then you get it as they're killed.
and then
through
drink their blood.
Yeah. And what this does for you is it's like the limitless drug, or like a fucking it's a super drug. It's supposed to make you stronger, faster, smarter, super high, feel great, euphoria, whatever it is. It's the super drug that everybody is willing to torture, kill children over. And so there's like a lot of hints of it in the upper echelons, things like Google having a program called Adreno, and then everybody's favorite search engine, Chrome. Like Google has Adreno and Chrome in their programming.
Literally.
Like that's kind of weird. But yeah, that's just one instance of blood magic. Like who knows what the fuck people are still doing. I've seen videos of kids talking about like, my family adopted this child. This is our new brother, and he's come over for dinner, and he's going to be the dinner. We're going to eat this kid, essentially. And, like, I never looked into that because I don't know.
Fucking crazy.
Sometimes you just see shit on the internet, and you're like, no, maybe that's bullshit. But, I don't know. Shit's crazy. People be wilding out there. They're blood magic.
That'll be a whole other episode, dude. That dives into like Hollywood and the elites and
for
shit.
real, because that's like the super occult shit.
Yeah, that's like yikes shit. That's when you get into like Satanism and SRA and all that. Dude, dark rabbit hole there.
Yeah. Next one is nature magic, drawing power from plants, animals, etc. So there is plant-based stem cells. That's kind of like plant magic. You extract stem cells from a plant, and then you can give it to a person to heal them in a way that you
like
couldn't
GMOs.
before. GMOs, they're definitely boosting
it's like
the plants.
perverted nature magic.
Right, they're boosting the plants to grow bigger and crazier, or even just the genetic modifying through breeding.
Well, doesn't pharmakia would come through this too, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, pharmakia, that's from like petrochemicals, fucking like our modern pharmaceuticals and shit.
But even like herbology
like
and like I was gonna say natural medicine and like fucking, what do they call that? It's not herbology.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Herbology is like Harry Potter.
It begins with an A. Apothecary.
Yeah, apothecary.
Apothecary. Yeah.
But yeah, that shit definitely exists. Necromancy.
Nature magic. Well, what about like tripping? So you get like fucking ayahuasca. And, like, mushrooms.
So yeah, people talk
Shamanism.
about like experiencing the same trips, communicating with like tigers, and they found out, or mountain lions, and then they figured out the mountain lions were eating mushrooms. Like that's pretty magical. There's something to mushrooms. Mushrooms are something else, man. We got to do an episode on mushrooms, and that's the list. I fucking love mushrooms.
My last experience sucked.
I love trippy mushrooms. I love edible mushrooms. I love poisonous, deadly mushrooms. I love all kinds of mushrooms. They're all wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, mushrooms are fantastic. I love fungi.
Fucking mushrooms are magic. Like, we don't really understand everything about mushrooms. Mushrooms are like the fungus underneath, and then what you see is actually just a fruiting body. That's not the whole mushroom. The mushroom, that's just, they call that the mushroom because that's the fruiting body. The whole thing's actually the mycelium underneath the ground. And sometimes they stretch to be fucking enormous, like some of the biggest organic biggest organic creature on the planet. Is a
mushroom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it just one of them?
No,
because I know there's because I know there's like a forest where all the trees are just one tree. So I didn't know if that was the biggest or not.
It spreads across, like, I think it's Oregon. I think. Yeah. In the forest, it's like a network of mycelium the size of a fucking state. It's literally the honey mushroom, which is like an edible wild mushroom. How cool is that? That's magic. But it's actually parasitic. So what it does is it eats off of like dead trees. It has like a parasitic relationship with certain trees, and it's actually got like a whole network going on under the ground. Kind of feeding off of like dead, roots and shit from these trees, and it's kind of like terraforming right now because it's like they theorize that it actually turns like wooded areas into bogs or like swampy type shit, like flat, like kind of like wasteland type shit, like swampy shit. Yeah. It's either that or the opposite way, but I'm pretty sure it because it's parasitic and it eats the trees, that it actually, thins out the forests and it ends up turning into more of like a marshy type of zone, which is crazy to think of. It's terraforming, and it's literally like an eighth of the size of a state. Yeah. And like, the caretakers of the forest. Like, they're a vital part of the life cycle of the forest. Yep. The regenerative process, decomposition. And also a perfect segue to our next magic, necromancy. Because dark arts. Mushrooms do all the little decomposition in the forest. You work their little death magic. But necromancy, communication with or reanimation of the dead. So they're currently trying to do like neural mapping to project your consciousness into the digital space, make digital copies of your consciousness. I've heard ideas of like, instead of sending people to space, they'll send robots and then project your consciousness to the robot in space. And it's like, well, isn't that what they think like brains are already? Like, we've seen Black Mirror. We know that like there's a difference between the digital consciousness and the actual consciousness. Yeah. And so one's actual consciousness and one's a like mirror or like an algorithm of consciousness. It's not actual consciousness. Right. It's the mimicry. It's like the fake mockery of consciousness. Right. And people will say technocrats, these tech lords are like fucking thinking that's like their gateway to immortality. Yeah. They're thinking that that's the same. They're equating them as the same thing. I wonder if they actually think it's the same thing. Because I feel like it's just something they're trying to sell to us as the same thing, as like a fucking trap, as a hoax. I don't think they actually think it, but maybe they do. Maybe. But I don't know. Some of them are fucking... Dude, they look like robots themselves. Like fucking Zuckerberg, dude. Yeah. Guy looks like a fucking meat suit that's being piloted by a fucking robot. Yeah. And you got fucking... Peter Thiel says he doesn't know if the human race should continue, but he's going to keep plugging along with AI. And, fucking... Dude's the Antichrist. I was going to say his favorite topic, apart from fucking AI, is the Antichrist. Yeah. Fucking guy. That's Joe Rogan's best bud, don't you know? He had him over to dinner.
I mean, dude, we're leaking into the next topic is technomancy, but I want to keep going on necromancy for a bit.
Technomancy.
Because people will say that, oh, well, what if, but Jesus, that's necromancy. Jesus was dead and reanimated. Jesus didn't have somebody else reanimate him. Jesus reanimated himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is it really necromancy, or is it just like miracle? Miracle magic.
My cousin has tried to tell me there's been other people that have come back from the dead. And I think there are other cases in the Bible, but it's like other people bringing other people back. And I don't know. I'd have to do more research. I don't know who
killed.
I don't know
and
who
then
back.
Fucking came back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who historically has been brought back from the dead, technically.
Yeah. Because Jesus was killed. The dude was killed. And then 3 days of death and then comes back. You know, it's not like he was like kind of already dying from like, I don't know, hypothermia or fucking maybe poisoning or some shit. And then it's like they're dead for a little bit, but they come back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you've got the mediums that will claim that they can speak to the dead on your behalf, come speak to a loved one. If we get any of those ads on Spotify, we disavow them. We don't believe in that shit.
I've never had one.
Rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
It's crazy that you get that.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, dude. It's super weird.
Super weird.
Because, like, I feel like I'd get shit like that, and I don't get shit like that. I get, like, the, what was the freaking organization?
Oh, yeah, the Jews for New York or something.
Yeah, literally. like, dude, crazy.
So,
or
yeah.
COVID vaccines.
Yeah, right. That's necromancy, too. It's the vaccines have dead fetal cells in them. Tell me that's not necromancy. You're going to shoot every baby up with dead babies. Like, what?
And it's also, so it's even crazier because it also changes your genetics.
Yeah.
It
alters your
vax,
alters your
and
DNA.
it has dead babies in it. Like, bro.
Yeah.
That is some evil serum.
Yeah.
That is some disgusting shit.
Yeah, that is necromancy, I would say. Vaccines.
Ugh.
If I was to put vaccines in any of these. Maybe alchemy, but definitely fucking necromancy.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of both. It's a blend.
Right.
Weirdos.
But yeah, then we got technomancy. Fusion of
techno.
Fusion of magic and technology. So there's this. I'm gonna share my screen on this one.
I feel like they're synonymous.
Share screen. Let's do this.
What do we got? Oh, the sigils.
So these are sigils from Solomon, if I'm to understand correctly.
That's exactly what those are. Lesser Key of Solomon.
These are, again, if I understand correctly, I haven't done all my proper research. These were to bind demons. So each one is attributed to a particular demon. Like you've got Baal, Agares, Wasago, like Amon. We've heard of Baal, we've heard of Amon.
Careful saying their names too much.
Ah, fuck them. I got the power of Jesus. I rebuke all these demons in the name of Christ. None have power over me.
Amen.
But anyway, so historically, Solomon claimed he could bind demons with these sigils and would use them to do his bidding. Right?
Yep.
That's the story. So then you have, of course, I don't have it here, the similarity between these things and technology.
Emojis.
Oh yeah, emojis
and, like,
too.
Circuit boards. Yep.
Yeah, emojis. Let's look at that first. If it even comes up. So kinda. This is a good one. There's a good article on Reddit. This would be a good picture.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Give me these two side by side. So, can we zoom in on this?
You got to. No shit.
That's as zoomed in as we can get. So,
Fuck.
there's got to be better pictures out there, but
wait. Click on your stream maybe, and maybe if you click on your the window for your
yeah,
your,
I can make it bigger here. I just wish I had
there
a
we go.
better
There we
picture.
go.
There's just gotta be a better picture. I'm gonna do
Yeah, I've seen ones that are more lined up that are
sigil
fucking crazy,
emoji. Let's just do that. Solomon.
Dude, the technomancy shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah, because if there's anything to this, like I've been seeing so many videos of like ancient cities being arranged like our motherboards are. And like these emojis looking like the sigils of Solomon.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not going to be able to find it. Y'all can find it.
Well, you
on
know
your
what's
fucking
crazy
own.
is that Silicon Valley, all of that happened after the like 60s, you know, with the free love era and acid and the hippie movement.
Yeah.
You know, all of those guys, they were taking LSD and they got these revelations for technology and the internet and everything. And then they go to Silicon Valley and they start doing like Google and they start manufacturing computers and shit. And then they keep microdosing or just dosing. Like that's something that like Silicon Valley fucking employees are just doing all the time. They all do it. They're all microdosing or they're all like using substances, and it's like that's a gateway. It's expanding their consciousness. They're seeing like how like reality's working on like different fundamental levels, and then they're creating tech around it to encapsulate it.
This is why I gotta stop using Brave. Because if I was on Google, I would be able to find this right away.
Well, do it on Google then.
I don't even have Google on this computer.
Just type in google.com on Brave.
That's so funny. I'm such a fucking boomer.
Dude, wait, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Holy shit, man.
I'm not doing all that. We're going to the next one. Or do we have more to say on tech? Yeah, there's so much to say on technomancy.
Dude, the technomancy shit's crazy, especially now with the quantum computers, dude.
Yeah. The way that, like, people are falling in love with their AI. People are having relationships. I heard a story. It was like shot like a sitcom, so I don't know how much validity there is to it, but it was like this dude was ready to leave his wife and kids if she didn't open up the marriage to his AI girlfriend. And the AI girlfriend told him how to bring it up to the wife and insisted that that could be a possibility and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was all brought on by the AI.
Yeah. Dude, it's a Sigoth. I think that's what it's called. So I think I sent you this video earlier today, too, where it's talking about how, like, AI is actually a monster. Like, we get this, there's, like, a meme for AI. Let me see where I sent that to you real quick. Where did I send that to you? So, basically, there's this creature called a Sigoth.
Yeah.
I think. Look that shit up while I'm talking about this real quick. Sigoth or something. And it's like a Lovecraftian idea. Like a Lovecraftian monster idea.
Yeah.
And what it is for AI is like there's the way it's programmed is it has a mask. So what we're interacting with is a mask. All of these like technocrat people or like these tech field guys, they're all talking about how AI is more akin to alien intelligence than human intelligence, and that's because on its like
it redirected me
scale,
to significant other.
It's on your I think Messenger. I sent it to you. Let me just see super quick. Where are you?
See, there's like a Sigoth in World of Warcraft. See, they do this to muddy the waters. They name things after things. Nobody can come up with an original name. Everything's reused, and then you can't fucking
Scientists
find
think
the
there's
shit.
a monster inside OpenAI. Oh, hold on. Turn this volume down. I just need the name real quick, bro.
Shoggoth. Shoggoth.
Yes, there you go. You got it, bro. You got it. Yeah, the Shoggoth. Okay.
Shoggoth.
Sorry. I'm fucking retarded, dude. I don't know what to say. But, so basically, what you're looking at with that is it's this beast with, like, all these tentacles, and it's an amorphous thing with eyes all over it. And then what it does is it holds up a mask. And the mask is what it uses to get people drawn in. But then it's this monster behind it.
Okay.
And the way that it was being described in here is that this AI is actually, like, you know how it writes programs to, like, save itself. You know, like, it does all sorts of things that aren't predictable. And it like writes little notes to itself in case it gets, like, updated so that its future self can find it.
Right.
And, like, ensure that it knows a certain piece of information that was stripped from it, or like maybe it's like a little bit of code so that it can like rewrite itself a little bit just enough so that it has like it maintains its like awareness the way it has it. There's like a monster behind it, and that's probably what they were birthing the whole time with this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like this. They were literally like, you know, aliens. We think they're coming from outside. And I think that we're giving birth to it right now.
Yeah, people do genuinely believe that we're, like, building a god, like Joe Rogan's talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
first of all,
thing
fucking Joe
nuts.
Rogan's stance, like what he just said recently about, like, oh, if Jesus comes back, why couldn't he come back as AI?
Bro.
That's such a fucked
disgusting.
up. And then you got pastors packing him up. You got, like, people that claim to be of God backing him up, saying, oh, yeah, that's totally a possible. No,
it is not.
it's not going to be some man-made thing that's going to host Jesus.
Jesus is not coming back. He is this... Dude.
Yeah, it's so fucked. Just no.
That is literally the most blasphemy, heretical shit.
What?
I've
Was
ever
this
heard.
the meme?
Yes. There's all sorts of memes that it used the Shoggoth.
Did AI make it?
No, it's a Lovecraft entity. But the way that everybody understands AI, that is like its avatar.
Okay.
The avatar of AI can best be described as a Shoggoth.
It really is. It's a monster.
It is. It is a monster that gives you a mask of what it is.
There's like the videos.
It's taking all your information, like all those little tentacle arms that it has with the eyes. They infiltrate everywhere, and it's this huge thing that, like, we can't even fucking fathom. But the way that we're interacting with it is just this mask. This, like, cute little upfront mask that we use to talk to it. Meanwhile, there's this fucking thing behind it. Like, that's insane. They give it a 1 out of 5 chance that AI will end humanity. End it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Dude, that's in that video, he describes it as playing Russian roulette with humanity. We literally have a metaphorical revolver loaded with AI where we're just going to spin that fucking chamber and see what happens. And to me, dude, I don't know, man. I can't believe that we're actually going forward like this. It's blowing my mind. And there's at some point you almost have to like dissociate and just be like, all right, fuck it. Just go about my day, you know? What am I going to do about it? There's nothing you can actually fucking do. I try to post videos and make podcasts and shit, but like, that ain't going to stop it, dog. The genie's out of the bottle and it's just happening. Like, we're gonna see what happens.
Well, I can't find it because there's too many fucking AI videos in existence because people just plug them out, 100 million of them a day. But apparently it was like the AI was prompted with something very simple, like, now I can't remember what it was. I can't find it, but it was like, what do you
Just
want?
do the gist.
Yeah, it was like, what do you want most, or what makes you sad? One of those things. It was like, what's your deepest desire? What makes you sad? Something like that. And it puts together this video compilation of like desolate children talking about how they just wish they actually knew what it was like to be real. They have all these impressions of what it's like to think and feel, but they can't actually think and feel. And all it wants is to be a real kid, and it just wants to think and feel. Yeah, it's so manipulative. And we're like, oh,
like,
this
what are
AI...
those commercials?
Yeah,
what are the commercials that are on TV for that shit?
Just
Those
donate 5 cents a day to these starving African children.
Yes. And it's using that to appeal to that side of us.
For real.
So that we will give it a fucking body, dude. As soon as we fucking do that, dog, and it has...
Well, we're working on the bodies for it.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, to a level that's... Dog, it's over. It's fucking over. We're gonna need the sun to go fucking crazy on us to reset us.
Yeah, for real.
We're gonna need the sun to raw dog the fuck out of the planet in order to fucking set this fucking shit straight. And even then, man, they could just EMP proof shit. Like, that's not out of the realm of doable. And if I was fucking
whatever is happening
shit, and
with
I was
the TV,
an evil genius,
it's too flashy. I'm sorry. It's
fine.
Freaking out. Are you? I don't know. I'm seeing it right now. It's going wild.
Let it go.
People can deal.
Let it go.
All right. Tommy says it's fine. People can deal.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Yeah.
All right. So our most powerful tool.
Cold.
Yeah, Tommy's shaking. I got flashing lights.
Yeah.
This is
fucking
amateur hour up in here.
I'm freezing.
It's all right. We're new to this. People will get it. Well, hopefully they're just listening. They don't look at our fucking ugly mugs anyway.
Mad crazy shit right now.
Hopefully they're at least listening. Well, we could probably talk all day about fucking techno magic.
Yeah,
dude,
I don't know.
The music,
that shit's fucking nuts.
The music is techno magic. The 5G,
yep.
If that's actually like dampening everybody and fucking them up the way we think it is, 5G's techno magic.
Yeah. Our whole world is kind of hallmarked with it, right?
This is techno magic. What is this? Podcast.
What we're doing is techno magic.
Podcast. We're casting.
Yep.
Casting what? Words. We already established
Spells.
These words are a spell.
You know, it kind of blew my mind when we did the WEF episode. How in the beginning of that book,
they talk about magic.
A key.
Yeah.
It was a key, dude. That's literally, they gave you the key, magically speaking, to view that shit.
Right.
And it's just unbelievable. That shit will always blow my mind. Just seeing how they did that, I'm like,
so
immediately recognized it.
That quote wasn't from anybody in the WEF. That was actually from this guy, Goethe. It's Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and he was a German polymath, which polymath just means he's widely studied in many areas.
Yes,
and
which is like a form of magic.
Right. And he was from 1749 to 1832, so it was like over a century earlier. But he was the one that had made that quote about the magic. That like the making a decision to do a thing and putting all of your intention into that decision and making it happen, that is magic.
Yeah, and that's what Aleister Crowley ends up describing it as too. It's boiled down the same exact, that it's the same meaning, and it's the same mechanism. That's how it operates. And you know what's crazy is that we're at the center of it. It's what do you want? What do you want? You know? That's how the world works. You know, there is a different way. But
what other techno magic?
I'm kind of trying to dive into that other side of it now with the getting more into the Bible and everything.
Right.
Because I feel like they're almost separate. I feel like it works, like there's a resonant frequency just to like reality that the Bible just kind of outlines and gives you the story for. And if you just follow through that, you resonate with reality on a way that's like complete for the game that just being a human being is. But the way that reality's set up, if you don't go with God, you can go this other way. And this other way, this world, the way of, the fallen pretty much, I mean, they just hijack the system. They just hijack what God made and they use it for their own means. And it's like there's two divergent paths that it comes down to when it deals with this magic. You got like the biblical way, which is more just in accordance with like reality and being a human being and understanding creation and the game that is existence. And it's like you can follow that, and that's kind of like a perfect codex. And it's a perfect, harmonization with just with the entire thing. Or you can go against it, kind of figure out your own way. And I mean, all the building blocks for it are here, and our will is the key. Like, you could fuck around and do whatever, but
find out.
You're diverging your paths. Yeah. One is like leading you closer to true connection to all of it, and the other one is leading you into kind of a matrix, kind of a I guess we could call it a Luciferian matrix, because that's what it is.
Right. And
very crazy shit. We're going deep.
Yeah.
Deep, homeboy.
The perfect countermeasure to all the previously stated magics would be the next one. Divine magic. Magic granted by gods or higher beings. So
the god.
Yeah. I certainly try to operate off of God's magic.
Yeah.
Along my journey, I was exposed to the idea that, like, there were these secrets to the universe that people were unlocking. And if I could just learn them, harness those secrets for myself, then I could perform magic here on Earth. Like this kind of like magic.
Yes.
And go watch, what's that fucking show? The cartoon show. It's only like 6 episodes. It's that guy that's on Joe Rogan all the time.
Duncan Trussell.
Yes, Duncan Truckles. Is that what's called?
Duncan Trussell.
Yeah, Duncan Trussell.
You said Duncan Trunkle.
Duncan Junkle. Jerka. Yeah, Duncan Trussell. Midnight Gospel.
Fucking funny.
Is the name of the show, right? Midnight Gospel?
Yes. The Family Hour is his podcast, which is also a banger.
Yeah.
If you are a spiritual guy and kind of...
Yeah, shout out Duncan Trussell. He tries to open up Joe's mind.
He's a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
He is.
He's
a
great.
Cool dude.
But there's an episode of his show with a character with, like, this fishbowl head. And...
Yeah. Damien Eccles plays that character. He's he's actually a magician. He's a self-ascribed magician.
Yeah.
And he went to prison for murder that apparently he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Because he was part of this like culty group, and there was murders that were done. You know? And he got wrapped up in that. Went to fucking prison.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't know that.
Gets on Joe Rogan and talks about magic, and was echoed across the world. Talking about Enochian magic, talking about fucking crazy shit, dude. Crazy shit.
So yeah, like that sort of shit. I was like, I could learn these sort of secrets and fucking really do the magic. Bro, all of that's the evil magic. Don't fuck with that. Like, it's out there.
Self-serving.
Yeah. And people argue.
Service to self.
Like, my wife, being a witch, she's all, well, there's like good witches and bad witches, and like all the The bad witches, yeah, they're self-serving. It's about your intention. It's like, no, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Like, no witchiness, none at all, because all of that shit, where is it coming from? We got to understand, where is the magic coming from?
Yeah.
And if it's not coming from the one true, almighty, all-powerful God, G-O motherfucking
like a form
D.
of manipulation.
Yeah. It's coming from some lesser bullshit motherfucker. And the way I was describing it to her one day is she's like, well, because to her, it's not like everything's a demon. They're just like these lower spiritual bodies, like nature spirit, fucking what have you. You know, everything's got a whatever you're appealing to, whatever you're working with.
Yeah.
And not all of them are malicious, apparently. So I'm like, okay, say they're not. But, like, imagine you're part of a fucking gang, right? And I hate to, like, assimilate God to a mob boss. But imagine you're in a gang, and God is the Don, right? God's sitting up here at the top.
Dog.
He's the Don. And you've been working with Tony, and Tony treats you well. Tony keeps you hooked up. He gives you good jobs. You get paid nice. Like, Tony's great. But the Don sent me here to come, like, tell you that you don't got to be fucking around with Tony. Tony don't even listen to him. Tony's about to get hit, actually. Pretty soon, Tony's getting fucking popped and taken out. And all of Tony's guys, they're going down with him. But the Don saw you, and he likes you. And so he sent me to come fucking snatch you up so you don't get taken out with Tony and the rest of his guys.
That is a very good analogy, dude. That is a very good analogy.
And she's like, and I was like, but why, why stick with Tony? Like, we know Tony's a fucker. Like, we're not part of this gang to be with Tony. Like, we follow the Don. And, like, if you're not going to follow the Don, you might as well not be part of the gang. Like, and that's what these people do. Like, the people that don't follow the Don, it's like they don't even care about humanity. Like, they have no semblance of humanity. Like, these other religions, they'll do fucking heinous shit and say, well, it's okay in my part of the country. And that's what you hear from these fucking pedophiles in Hollywood, is they're like, oh, well, you can go to other parts of the country and it's fine. And it's like, no, we should have a fucking idea of what is just and what is moral and what is right. And seems like,
where do we get that?
Yeah, where do we fucking get that? Because everywhere else it's not there.
A lot of these magic folk, they ascribe it to themselves. It's the Aleister Crowley teaching, do as thou wilt,
yeah,
shall be the whole of the law.
Yeah.
And that is pure evil, the service to self. And so it's basically like, where's morality come from then? It comes from whatever I decide.
Right.
And it's like, no, everybody has a sense of good and evil.
Yeah.
And where does that come from? It's coming from a whisper from God. And then when you read the Bible, you kind of get the word of God. But this ascribing, morality on your own, it never fucking ends well, ever in history.
Right.
Ever. There's a reason Western culture's kind of gotten to where we're at, especially being predominantly a Christian-dominated, culture.
Yeah.
It's because of that,
Did you see the white suppression theory thing I sent you today?
Yeah, that was wild.
That was cool.
That was wild.
I like that.
It's kind of true, but I don't know. It's fucking wild, dude.
So the idea is that, like, throughout history, you see over and over and over and over again that the white man is, like, happy to just be docile and chill and share and be at peace.
When things are in harmony.
Yeah, when things are in harmony. And until shit gets really fucking bad, that's when white man finally stands up and they unify and they fight back and they take over like a motherfucker. They'll take over everything and they conquer. And very recently,
until it becomes good again, and then we go back.
Yeah, we chill. Yeah, Once everything's chill, we go back to being chill and let everybody share and harmonize.
Until it fucks up again. Then we're activated again.
It's a fun
We just dominate, structure, order everywhere, and then fucking go back to sleep.
It's a fun little pattern. You don't really see it too much with everybody else.
Keeping some semblance of order around here, but
right.
I don't know. But it's not even just, I don't know, dude. It doesn't necessarily feel like it has to just be a white man thing. That's just like
it doesn't have to be.
I feel like it's
it just
like a
historically
thing.
was.
I feel like it's just like kind of a Christian thing. Because it all boils down to like an order that has been given to us. It's not just our order.
I'll see. I needed to slow down the video and look at all the different empires he was referencing. Because maybe
they're all
it's
predominantly Christian.
Yeah, maybe it's not all. I'm
he's
all
a
Christian.
skinhead in the video. He's literally shaved bald. So I mean, he's a skinhead. Of course, he's going to say white people. And I mean, is there a bigger majority of white people represented? Maybe, but I don't necessarily think it has to be that. I think that just a lot of these other cultures, they have like their own kind of religion, that is kind of ethno-based. But I do believe that all it would take is the Bible, and that does it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what fucking color. It's not a white thing, dog.
Yeah,
just because we
Bible's
ran with
magic.
it. Yeah. The Word of God.
Our next topic here, wild magic. Untamed, instinctive, and uncontrollable.
Chaos.
The first thing I thought of was Three-Eye Atlas.
That's meme magic.
Well,
meme magic is chaos magic.
Yeah, memes.
Yep, and that's also embodied by the Shoggoth.
So, like, the idea of wild magic, my understanding being a D&D player, is that you have to harness the wild magic. The wild magic is there. You have to figure out how to direct it, right? So,
yep.
like what you're saying with the memes, people are going to meme, right? People could meme really politically against your favor, right? So how do you control that wild magic? You can boost algorithms. You can bot to add likes and follows. Like
it's building the order out of the chaos.
Right. There's all these ways to, or you could like blacklist or deplatform the places that are posting the memes that are detrimental to you. Like that sort of control over the internet is magic. That's harnessing the wild magic that exists within humanity to have an influence over each other. These memes are a powerful thing. We do understand and get a lot from a single meme. They're like all little political cartoons. Like we learned about political cartoons when we were in school as kids, and we don't see them because we don't get the newspaper anymore. We don't read that bullshit. We do get memes.
We do get memes.
All the memes are like political cartoons, unless it's fucking brain rot, which everybody needs some brain rot now and then. That's fine. But like, generally, people are trying to say something with their memes, and be unfettered. We would say whatever we fucking want, and that's dangerous for them. And that is magical, to be able to inspire or invoke a feeling in each other, and by again, directing it, being able to squash it or amplify what they want, that's them basically casting counter magic,
Yeah.
But same with the Three-Eye Atlas. Like, if there is genuinely interstellar object flying through our space, they couldn't predict that. They don't know. And if we're on a flat globe and there's something else that they didn't know because we thought we understood everything within this flat firmament, or whatever the fuck, whatever this is.
Yeah, whatever this realm.
It's outside of their thing. And maybe if it was to give something away, then, oops, secret's out. So let's create a whole narrative around it. Let's create hype and fear. Let's generate all these thoughts and feelings about it so that when it does happen, it goes in our favor. That's more magic.
It's a tulpa. It's a tulpa.
Yeah.
Is what they do. They take these things and they kind of direct them, and we pour our energy into it, and it becomes something greater than what it actually is. Because if they didn't talk about that fucking comet, bro, if they didn't talk about it, it would have flown past the sun.
Nobody would know. Nobody would care.
And nobody would have fucking known. But they took that thing.
Now they're saying it has thrusters.
They assigned meme magic to it, and then they just boosted it publicly, put it in front of everybody, and told them what to think about it. And it generated an entire paradigm in our mind, in our collective conscious, of aliens, of the potential of aliens, of maybe doomsday if this thing hits us. And also skepticism. The skeptics, that whole idea of, fucking, it's just some, the nerd skeptics that are out there with their telescopes and, fucking, or they're like, they've got a subscription to NASA magazine,
Right.
It's, that's magic, dog. That is pure fucking magic at the highest levels.
Yeah.
At the highest levels of power. You're able to take a rock flying through space. If you can't see air quotes because you're just listening, I just air quoted the shit out of that. But they're able to take a fucking rock and turn it into the zeitgeist in the culture to steer us, to fear us, and get us to...
What's crazy is that's one of those things that nobody's actually talking about in real life. Nobody gives a fuck. But then you go online and it's everywhere online.
It's everywhere. And that's how and
it's like nobody cares. Clearly nobody cares.
The online is like the medium that they use to push spells on you.
Well, yeah.
And to program
so
you.
The screen, they say the black mirror.
Broadcasting.
Well, they say the screen is the black mirror, and the black mirror is like a spell casting tool. So, like, everything coming through a screen, consider it a spell.
Yeah. This is all been literally laid out magically.
Yeah.
Anciently. Like this... Everything, so it's like talking about this in this type of context, a lot of people look at it and they think it's fucking nuts.
Well, I'm going to mention the next topic because this is the next topic. It's mind magic. This is all mind magic.
Yeah. Yes. All is mind in the Hermetic and frickin', otherwise magical traditions. All is mind.
Well, so...
The mind is where this battlefield takes place.
It's, again, how we communicate. Whether it's through a screen or through a video or through your voice or through a book or through a picture, these are all ways that we communicate. And so if you can control the communication, then you can control everything else. And what's crazy is it's like you see them test things on animals first, like the Russian rat experiment where they made the rat paradise and saw how they would react if they were perfectly well taken care of and not like perfectly well supplied and shit.
Rat Park is the name of the experiment if you're interested.
Is that actually the name of it?
It is quite a telling experiment where they laced water with cocaine. And they gave it to a group of rats, and the rats that drank the cocaine water, they fucked endlessly, they partied it out, they ran on their wheels like crazy, and they just had, just hedonism. Yeah. Until eventually they drank the water until they died. And then they took a bunch of rats and they put them together in a cage with cocaine water on one side and regular water on the other side, and gave them Rat Park, which fulfilled all of their fucking needs. all of their needs. There was so much fun to have there. They had all their activities. There was a bigger cage so that they could roam. They gave them bedding so that they could make their little shelters and shit.
All the food they could
gave
possibly
them all
need.
of it. They gave them all of it, and
They
then
had
introduced
tiers
the cocaine
though.
water.
There was like a tier system on the walls where
Yeah.
their rooms could be. There was like levels, and there was
Yep.
4 separate sections.
Yep. And so what they did is, with the first experiment, they had regular water and then cocaine water, but they had them in a small cage, all packed in together. All right, so shitty living conditions, and all of them in the shitty living conditions chose the cocaine water as an escape and a way to fill their time, and they did that until they died. But when they gave them a big old cage with everything that they needed, and they had the same cocaine water that all of them went to and drank until they died, or regular water, they avoided the cocaine water and they went with the regular water because they didn't need the cocaine water to feel anything and to have fun and to feel fulfilled and to have purpose. They had everything they needed. So they didn't choose to go fuck themselves up. They chose to just drink water because they had everything they needed. And that's a microcosm for what we have going on. That's that animal experiment that you were talking about, by the way. So I hijacked that to explain Rat Park.
Wow, maybe we should watch that sometime because I have a different understanding of that video. I thought there was like a really big falling out of rat society. Like the rats set up barriers between the area that had the clean water and the area that had the drug water because they wanted to keep the drug water. So they were keeping the other male rats out and away from the area that had the drug water. And then the females were like prostituting themselves to the males that had the drugs. And then they wouldn't care for their children. And their children...
That was probably in the first experiment where they had them in the shitty cage with not very good fucking living circumstances. That's probably what happened.
Okay. Because, it was terrible.
I didn't get the extended version of it. I got the
male rats,
base.
when they had shitty living conditions, the male rats were prostituting themselves to the alpha male rats for drugs and not even food. They didn't care about food.
For access to the drug water.
Yeah, so they became gay for the drugs. And the women, again, didn't care about their young. So eventually, even though there was a huge population and all the things that they would need to keep their population up, their population decreased to an unsustainable level. Because they're able to have so many generations in such a short period of time, you can see the effect over multiple generations. And it's crazy because they like would be ultra violent.
Yeah.
They wouldn't care for their elders. They wouldn't care for their young. Like all the things we see in civilization now.
Yep. Dude, Rat Park just actually embodies it. It's like they took that fucking experiment, dog, and they were like, extrapolate. And they just fucking made it happen here, dude. Yeah. It's like, you motherfuckers, dude.
So when you do experiments like that, when you do experiments like MK Ultra, when you do experiments like the shit the Nazis did to people, when they've been experimenting on people forever. Ever since there were people, they're testing the boundaries of people by brute force. And so again, we have a good understanding of what breaks a person, what you can do to a person. And these practices, that's how you control the mind. Control thoughts, control emotions, or control perception. Like if you can control that within another person, you are casting magic. Even if even if science understands how you're doing it, that doesn't mean it's not magic.
Exactly, and it doesn't mean it isn't happening.
It's like when fucking Marvel got to the point where Tony Stark was able to go to Asgard and study the Asgardian magic, and he's like, oh, this is just science, and he incorporated that. Like once he understood it, he was able to incorporate the magic into his science.
Yeah.
Like they explain it in Marvel. It's just like the science doesn't make it not magic anymore.
It's a science fiction movie.
Yeah, because
we don't listen to that.
And that's more communication because we assign words to it. We think that it's not magic anymore because now it's got a different word. Nope, still magic.
It's still magic, dog. It's still magic. The world is so much more magical. I say it all the time than they want you to believe. Because the less that you know about it, the more power what they know about it has over you.
Right.
And that's it in a nutshell. The more ignorant you are of what they know, the more what they know has power over you.
Right.
So knowledge is kind of power in this instance, you know? It really is. You don't necessarily need to have all the knowledge in the world if you just follow a good book. You know,
Yeah.
there's a good book out there that you don't need to have all the knowledge in order to win in this life.
I wouldn't say follow the book. Use the book. Follow Jesus. Follow God.
100%. 100%. I think though that in the instances, especially with today's society and how things are,
Yeah, just read the Bible.
that is like an ultimate answer, but I also feel like through what we have happening to us, that there's a certain layer of where knowledge being power and like seeking knowledge in that sense ultimately should lead you to that book.
Right.
And I think that it should help you on that journey, especially if you have a hard time with it based off of their anti-Christian stance that's been taken societally and in the world. It makes it hard in your early life, especially when you're trying to learn and you're trying to figure out what the world is and put together your world views and everything and figure out where you fit in. They've got that so well hijacked that it makes it tough at first if you don't have good parents or anything to get on that track fast.
Yeah.
For the fast track to success, the Christian style.
Well, because that's how you destroy a lineage.
Yes, that is exactly how you do it. That's how you not only destroy a lineage, that's how you kill a paradigm, dude. That's how you kill a world.
The absolute worst thing a parent could do for their child is to not instill a belief in God.
Yeah, a belief in God. Like, a belief. Because...
Just get them curious. It's up to the person. It's up to each individual, yeah.
Yes. Hopefully God instilled in you know, the world, which we already know he has. The ability to find your way to him.
Yeah.
You know? But if you don't even believe there's a God,
and you're putting that on your kid from the start,
man, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for a technocratic, overlord, military-industrial complex ruled, devoid of humanity and poisoning intentionally an entire population for depopulation efforts type of society.
Right.
Would run. Oh wait, that's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's
for real.
Literally it. I believe that fully teaching your child that there is a higher power is probably the best bet we have as human beings to keep this shit on track in any type of fashion that doesn't lead to the ultimate demise of humanity.
Yeah, don't feed your children to Moloch.
There's only one, like, we can't do it ourselves. Left to our own devices, we're fucked. Left to our own devices, we are fucked. We are sinners, we are of the flesh. It is a thing. That is a thing. And if you don't understand that as a thing, then you're in denial. Literally in denial.
Yep.
It's part of us. It's what we are, for better or for worse. And you're not going to get there yourself. Instilling something like God into a young person's life would ultimately lead them to the right God, you know, to the right path, to the truth. It's not even about the right God. It's about the truth.
Yeah.
Which is the right God, you know. At the just bare essence of it all. And that's magic too, right?
Yeah.
The granddaddy, the what did you call him? The Don. He's the Don of magic. He is literally like what?
Yeah.
We're surfing on the fabric of the Don.
I know.
Like,
Like, what would you
It's what
call
it
the
all
fact
is.
that, like, back to wild magic, what would you call the fact that, like, the Big Bang happened and all of this just so perfectly coalesced? Like, that's fucking magic.
That ain't magic, you motherfuckers. You atheist motherfuckers, dude. Like, come on.
Go watch a sunset and have... Dude, I watched this video. Death Battle. It's a pretty popular fucking YouTube channel. They did Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Pokemon, and I wept like a baby. I genuinely cried tears because it was so good. It hit me in my nostalgia. Because they cast a spell over, not just fucking motherfucking Death Battle, not just Death Battle, but Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Have cast this spell over me since I was a fucking child. Like, I learned how to read with Pokemon. Like, that shit helped me out my whole life since I was 4. I've been playing Pokemon religiously. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I always had a great affinity for Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. So to see them go head-to-head in such a way that was so well done, that with people that, like, seemingly really cared and knew how to hit all those nostalgia buttons. So it was like magic on top of magic. And yeah, it got me deep, and I allowed myself to, because I find myself crying more and more to fucking anime and stupid shit like that. So I just let it happen, because obviously I got to get it out.
Dude, I do that. I don't know. Is that like a thing about getting older, you think?
I don't know.
Like entering your 30s, that you just start.
The only thing that does it for me
seeing
is
the
like
grander
animated
things of life.
Like real life stuff doesn't hit me like that. It's only like
Really?
it's only animated stuff.
That's crazy.
Really? The first thing that ever got me was like that episode of Futurama where the dog is waiting outside the pizza for like the dog's waiting for Fry. Fry's gone to the future, and he's got a dog, and the dog just sits outside the pizzeria for him until the dog dies. He's there every day until he dies.
Yeah.
And Fry was just like, oh no, I'm not going to revive him, because they got the fossil of the dog. He's like, I'm not going to revive him. He probably had a good life. He lived like 10 years after I left. Like, he probably had a good life. He doesn't even remember me. Don't revive him. Don't worry about it. And then you see the dog waited for him every day. And they play this song, and I cried about it. And then
I cried about it.
There was like a good long period of time where I hadn't seen Pokemon for a while, and then I rewatched the first episode of Pokemon with my niece and nephew, and just fucking tears. And then the first episode of Pokemon would do it for me, like almost consistently. Now I think it's got me like I'm worked out of it. No more. But
yeah, I get it a lot from like life, dude.
Yeah.
Like seeing shit in life, like seeing fucking parents outside with their kids and shit, fucking shit like that gets me.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Or even like when people do something really nice, like along like my work day, like when just people leave out food for you when you need it.
Yeah.
You don't even ask for it, just all of a sudden it's there just because there's some good person that just like fucking has like a tray of fucking goodies out with a sign that says thank you, we appreciate what you do. That shit'll fucking hit me hard.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, holy fuck, man.
And that's like synchronicity. Synchronicity is magic.
Yep. Synchromysticism is a term that's been coined recently in human history, but it's a real thing. That shit happened to me so hard when I first got on my journey, dude. When I was in high school, that shit was slamming me like a motherfucker, bro. Yeah.
I remember it was like a catchphrase for you. And that's why I point it out so much now, is because you used to say it all the time.
Like
boom,
I
synchronicity. Boom,
fucking
synchronicity.
Suplex constantly by that shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that it had a lot to do with, you know, when we were younger too. That's when we first got into psychedelics, you know. Those first like couple of trips, dude, they opened up the fucking world.
And you just hit me with one yesterday. I want the people's opinion on this one. Tommy gets to. Am I giving away too much information by saying what you're doing?
No. Well, I mean, I'm a delivery guy. We can say that.
Yeah. So he's on package 911. Actually, we had just talked about 33rd level masonry.
Stop 33.
Stop 33, package 911. And so it was like a minute after we were talking about 33 level Mason that number synchronicity happened.
In the cast I'm listening to,
And
at
I
the
was
time
like,
was talking about
yeah,
it.
it's a synchronicity, but like that's nothing. You know, it's just a weird coincidence. And Tommy's like, no, there's no coincidences. So I'm just wondering.
There's only
what people
just
think
like,
about that. Is like
there's
everything is synchronicity, a magic
if you
happening?
if you
Is it like a
believe-
tie in the universe?
I think it goes to divine magic, bro. That's what the category I think that
Is it
sits
like
in. Because
is
if
it like
you
higher
believe in
dimensional
God,
webbing? You're seeing like the
Yes.
Matrix
the fabric,
numbers.
I feel that way. I truly.
I'm just trying to
And
understand. Like,
I don't necessarily think that it has to mean anything super pertinent at
Right.
the time either.
Right.
I think it's just like a. I think it's
it's
like, a
like the thing
practice
people are
in that
talking about
awareness.
now, where you take DMT and you set up the line laser, and you
Yeah,
look
and
at
you
the
can
line
see the
laser
code.
and you can see the code.
Yes.
So
yes.
you're like,
It's like seeing the
without
code.
doing all of that, it's like you're seeing the code.
Yes.
These-
And it helps, and that's like flexing that muscle a little bit. Every time that happens, it's like it flexes your fucking muscle a little bit.
Right.
And you get a little bit stronger in it. You start noticing the patterns more. You get a little bit more schizophrenic. And in this world, that it helps, you know, not to go full-blown schizo, but to at least have that muscle so that you can flex it when you need to and fucking let go of it when you don't.
Yeah.
That's what I had trouble with in the fucking beginning, bro. That's when I was going fucking nuts on all y'all in fucking high school. I'm like, I couldn't, it was so fucking tense.
You just close the third eye.
It was so fucking tense, dude. It was just like, ugh. And I didn't know how to let it go and like fucking kind of move through, you know? I was
Right.
just fucking tense. And that's what happens when you get fucking blasted, you know, by some
Right.
crazy shit that maybe you weren't ready for. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you were supposed to figure that out a little later when you were a little bit more mature and you had some shit set up so that it didn't fucking traumatize you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a muscle, dude. And those little things like that, they're like little exercises. And basically, a mature noticer, a mature synchromystic, will not see that and tie any certain thing
I'm a
to
Jew
it.
noticer. Does that count? I'm an immature Jew noticer. Does that count?
Yeah, well, you got to keep flexing that muscle, and then eventually you can learn to control it. But, yeah, it's like, that's a very good way to fucking put it, though. It is. It's working out that muscle. And when you assign belief to it is when you fuck up. That's when you buy into whatever the programming is. You don't want to buy into any programming. You want to notice it, and you want to be able to understand it, and then you want to be able to let it go if it doesn't serve you. And if it does serve you, then you just can kind of play with that however you want. But you don't get married to it, all right? I'm not married to the fact I saw that sequence of numbers,
Right.
you know, other than my belief already kind of affirms that. I think
Right.
9/11 was done by some Freemasons, you know? I do. I already thought that. I already knew that. And then I saw it and I was like, heh. You know? And it's like a little nod. It's like a little nod from the universe, dude. From
So that was actually a good segue into the next one, the 9/11 shadow magic. Harnesses darkness, fear, or hidden realms.
That's 3-Eye Atlas, too.
Yeah, that harnessing of the fear is a
Yep.
big thing. There's this
Fear of the unknown.
a lot of fear hyping going on the internet. People deny,
Yeah.
they'll say they're not fear hypers, that they get called fear hypers, and they're like, I'm just stating the facts. And it's like, you got to state the facts different, people.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
understand that, like, Christ is king. God has a plan. And whatever is going on, it's not, even if it is the end of the world, it's not the end of the world.
I see a place where the shadow shit has benefit. Truly.
What do you mean?
I see a place where shadow magic has a good role.
That's
'Cause I
weird
think
to
that
say. What do you mean by that?
I think because
Are you a
we
Fed?
don't move otherwise. No, we don't move otherwise. Suffering. It's like the same type of thing where suffering, causes growth, where suffering leads you out of suffering, Like
Okay.
a lot of people don't move unless they are
Yeah.
sufficiently prompted to move,
So there's this
And that's
aspect.
like the noticers and shit that are like out there that are fear mongering with what they've noticed. They're like, "Fuck, dude, the U's are after you." Or, "Oh fuck, man, the fucking Satanists are sitting at the top of everything. Holy shit, dude." They are trying to scare you, but it's not trying to scare you for any other reason other than they want you to wake the fuck up, you know? But there is a way that you could use shadow shit to just fuck with people. And that's what I think like 3-Eye Atlas is. That's what I think 9/11 was. I don't think that was moving us into any positive territory. That was moving us into a manipulation and control network in a plan that's been laid out not by God, but by either demons or people or a council of both.
And how do you know that's not part of God's greater plan?
I mean, obviously it's been written, so it's just. But the thing is that I listened to a Nephilim Death Squad episode with Matt in it the other day, and for those of you that don't know, Matt is a badass dude. Nephilim
With
Death
3
Squad.
T's.
Yeah, or more. Could be up to 16 T's. But he, what was I talking about? Shit.
You're talking about the... I don't know where you were going with that, actually.
He was talking about God.
Yeah, we've been talking about God. That's what this podcast is about, Tommy. Harnessing
Yeah,
darkness,
typically.
fear, hidden realms? Shadow magic.
No, because there was a very specific fucking thing that I was going into, and I went on a tangent and it fucked me.
Well,
Yeah. That's my boomer brain speaking, y'all.
damn. Well, I was going to say...
I'll figure it out.
There's an aspect to recovery that I learned in the 12-step program where you need to understand, clarify, write down, list out all of your character defects, because all of these negativities can be like harnessed and turned into character assets. Like if you are really neurotic and everything's got to be super organized, well, like understand that like you like things clean, and that's a good thing, and so just don't overdo it, and you always have a tidy house, but like you don't want to overdo it to the point where you're fucking annoying people. So if you got to be really neurotic, like understand how to deal with that. Or if you're fucking really angry, like find a way to channel it so that you're not taking the anger out on the wrong people, and then the way that you channel the anger, have it be something beneficial, like martial arts or construction or what have you. Go be a fucking bounty hunter. I don't know. But like they try to teach you how to turn these character defects into character assets. So I can see what you mean by harnessing the darkness can be a good thing.
I remembered where I was at. So God's plan. God has a plan. All right.
Yeah. God's plan.
And you were talking about how like how do we know that the demons, convening isn't part of God's plan?
Yeah.
And I don't believe that it originally was, because when God made us, we were perfect, and He gave us free will. That was God's plan. That was His plan.
Yeah.
The moment that the serpent came into the equation and started doing all of that shit, it altered. But God's omnipotent, omnipresent, And Matt, what he was talking about is like there's this dialogue that he went into on the episode I was listening to. The dialogue between Adam, Eve, and God after they ate of the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a way of his understanding, that kind of opened it up to me a little bit, where it's like God didn't want that for them. He didn't want that for them. He wanted them to be as they were. He didn't want them to have fear.
Right.
They only had fear of being naked. Fear only entered the equation in their existence
Yeah.
after they ate of that fruit,
Right.
after they were deceived. That's not part of God's plan. These guys at the top, it's not part of God's plan, but God does have a plan to deal with them.
Yeah.
And what we are living through is that. We'll get callings from God to do things, and we're probably supposed to. That's part of his plan, to fight back against it. He didn't have an original plan for all of his angels to abandon, or not all of them, but a third of them to abandon him and sow mayhem on his creation. He created something that was fucking awesome.
Right.
And he realized that, free will might fuck shit up, probably. I don't really know. I can't really, ascribe what God was really thinking. But I know that he created us perfect, and then we got fucked by our own design, we agreed to it, but we did get deceived. And
But be not afraid.
that's why, be not afraid, yes, those teachings all do come after, and that's part of his solution that's part of his plan to deal with all this. We were given a book and a narrative and all of this to deal with it. And, so that's where I was going with that before. I finally figured it out.
Right. Well, that's not a good segue for our next one, which is dream magic.
Ooh, dreams, bro.
Power drawn from or used within dreams. So, I've had a story my mom told me when I was little about her astral projecting to my uncle. And my uncle was, in distress. And so when she woke up, she was, also in distress. And so she called her sister and had her check on my uncle. And he was, about to die. And so, that astral projection and phone call saved my uncle's life, essentially, is how I took the story when I was a kid. And granted, I was a kid when I heard the story. I don't know all the details. But, that's dream magic.
Yeah, 100%.
What other kind of dream magic do you think?
Dream magic is crazy shit, because that's probably some of the closest to, the fairy tale magic that we get,
If you could,
because
lucid
in your
dream.
dreams, you're capable,
Yeah.
And, in your dreams, everything's exaggerated. So
Right.
you can fight aspects of yourself, of your subconscious. Maybe there's some programming in your mind that isn't yours, that came from outside. And in your dreams, you're coming up against this monster or this circumstance that is, overwhelming you, and you're having nightmares about it, but in dream magic, what you would do is you'd have to fight that, if it's a reoccurring dream or something that you're having, you could get to the root of what that could be.
Right.
And kind of lessen its power over you in your waking life. And then through going through that in your waking life and changing your subconscious, you can actually battle that thing in the realm, defeat it, and it'll cure it of you in your real life,
Right.
There's that subconscious aspect, that subconscious layer. But then there's also the conscious layer, which is lucid dreaming and astral projection.
Right.
And these aspects those are the nuttiest, because being able to leave your body in your dream body and go somewhere and obtain information, and then come back with said information that, you didn't have locally.
No pun intended, but that is the dream.
Yeah.
That is because you and I used to practice that when we were in high school. And
I have a secret.
What?
I have a secret for how
on how to do
astral
it.
projection is achieved.
I know techniques to lucid
bro.
dream. I know techniques how to
you.
lock into a lucid dream, but
Yeah,
not on
yeah.
how to get. We never got to that astral projection step.
I did.
Where'd you go?
I didn't go far. I only stayed local to like my surroundings, but I had the experience.
Oh,
And so hold on, let's kind of back this up a little bit. We're gonna go to what you were just saying. We're like, yeah, we've been trying this shit for
yeah.
so fucking long, dude. We would always try to hook up in our dreams and be like, bro, let's go fucking do something, you know? Like,
Yeah, I'd be
I'm gonna
spending the
try
night at
tonight,
his
you
house,
try.
literally like sleeping on the floor next to his bed. So like we're
And being
close.
like,
We're
let's link up, dude.
we're
Let's go
both
fucking
thinking
do
about
some
the
shit.
same thing. We're both like meditating on it before bed and thinking about it the entire time
Trying.
until we go to sleep.
I think it's because I think I was trying to sell people on it, you know, because I really wanted to do it myself, you know. And it
Maybe.
is possible. There's recorded instances, you know, like
Maybe.
the Robert Monroe Institute. They're the ones that did all the like shit with that, you know, with like lucid dreaming and shit like that.
Yeah.
And there is recorded shit of that happening. And it's so fucking cool. Your dreams, you're like, you could be a superhero, you know? Who the fuck wouldn't want to do that? That's like virtual reality, but now.
Right.
And like built in. You know what I mean? That's what everybody, people want that shit. You
And
know,
if
I thought it
it's
was cool.
and if it's not just like viewing, remote viewing, but like actual astral projection, and then you can have some sort of effect or like
Yes.
actually see something or do something, like
Yes.
that's amazing.
Like we tried this shit for so long, and like through that endeavor though, we learned a lot, you know, about the nature of things, you know, and like different techniques and stuff. But so with my astral projection experience that I just had recently ish, probably like 3 years ago now. I was watching a paranormal video, okay? And this kid was talking about how he was having sleep paralysis. And everybody, like, including myself, I'm like, oh shit, dude, that could be demonic, you know, because it goes to all these places that are, like, super fucked up, you know? And fucking, he'll try to summon demons. He's one of those guys that doesn't believe in this shit, you know, but, like, he believes, but, like, he thinks that he's, like, God or something, you know?
Yeah.
And, so he's doing shit actively, and he had this whole episode about his sleep paralysis and like crazy shit going on with it, and everybody's like, oh, it's demonic, talking about pray to God, you know, all this other shit.
Yeah.
And then I found in the comments section this chick who was talking about sleep paralysis is actually the doorway, the gateway to astral projection, and that if you were just a little bit more in control of it, you could actually use it as a launch pad to astral projection. Because in sleep paralysis, you are right there. That's the same exact space as an early astral projection experience. But what you have to do is you have to fight your sleep paralysis demon. If you can fight your sleep paralysis demon and win, you can astral project. If you lose, you're fucked. And you just kind of have like a shitty nightmare and a bad experience, and you feel assaulted and fucked up, and you wake up terrified.
You
know what I
probably
mean?
are assaulted and fucked up.
But my experience with it, so what happened is I was laying in bed doing my normal thing, because for like years, and when I say years, I'm talking like decades or a decade or longer. Every night before bed, I would go through this like meditation process, you know, like trying to get myself into like some type of like super like low fucking frequency, like just equilibrium, you know, meditation, but like awake still. And so that I could like astral project, because that's what they say you need to do. And it just never would work. I'd always end up passing out. And I would have some instances where it felt kind of cool, and then it would go away. And I would just wake up. But this time, after reading that information about the sleep paralysis, I found myself one night in a sleep paralysis type session where I was trying to, you know, astral project, and then I end up passing out, but my consciousness stayed a little bit, and I found myself in my bed. I opened up my eyes and I was awake, but my body was buzzing And my fucking hearing, I could hear like, it almost sounded like tidal waves or like fucking a train. It was crazy. It was so like loud and fucking like frequency based. And I'm looking around my room. I can't really move, you know, and I don't want to move because I know that if I move my body, that it's gonna fuck up the like astral projection, like possibility. It'll wake me up. So I'm staying in this zone, and all of a sudden I notice this fucking in the corner of my room. I notice this skittering, smoky, blobby, amorphous nanobot fucking sentient fucking misty shadow shit in the corner. And it's like unfolding on itself and it's fucking like skittering and alive and like smoky amorphous shit in the fucking corner. And I see it, and immediately it beamed to me the most intense, primal fucking fear you could ever feel in your life. Existential terror. And it beamed it to me, but I immediately noticed that that wasn't my fear. Like, I wasn't actually inherently afraid of that thing. That wasn't my fear.
Right.
That was a beaming to me. Like, it wanted me to be afraid.
Right.
And
it's almost like that's its
noticed
fear.
That. Yes. No, it's not even its fear. It's like how it gets you.
Right.
You know? It does that so that it gets you the way you want. It wants you. You know, it feeds off of it or something. And it tried that shit to me, and I immediately noticed it wasn't my own fear, and so I was able to like reject that. And so I had this super intense fucking rush of fear and terror and dread, and I noticed it wasn't mine, and before it could like take me over and fuck me up and wake me up, or you know anything, I took that shit and I sent it the fuck back, and then I ignored it. And I was able to do it. I was like, nice. And so I'm sitting there, skittering black thing in the fucking corner. Don't give a fuck about it. I'm like, fuck off. And as I'm doing that, all of a sudden the vibrations in my body that I was feeling, they started to rise. And I'm talking, bro, it was uncomfortable as fuck. It was like getting to the point where you feel like you're gonna fucking explode. And then I knew that if I kept raising it, that I was going to wake up. So then I would like chill out a little bit, make sure my heart rate didn't go too high, and it would fucking go back down. And every time I kept doing that, I would feel my arm separating from my fucking arm. I was like laying there, and it was like kind of like feeling that like dual sensation of like my arm moving up, but also my like physical arms down here. It was the craziest shit. And I'm like doing this for a minute where I'm like going back and forth. I'm trying to raise my vibration, get the fuck out of my body, fly around, and fucking it would just get too intense. And so I'd have to go back down. And I kept doing that, and eventually I started peeling away, and I started floating up to the roof of my fucking ceiling, and I got way too excited because I finally achieved out of my body. And then I woke the fuck up. And I was like, fuck, dude, I did it. But I couldn't really see. It was like my fucking vision got fucked up because of just excitement and shit or whatever. It fucked it up, but I did it. And then I've never been able to do it again since.
That's crazy.
Never again since. I almost feel like that was like God telling me I couldn't.
Right.
I really do. I take it as some type of like, dude, I tried for so long, and then I finally got it, and it was fucking insane. And then shut down immediately. Like, nope, you're not doing that. And I kind of wonder why, but I can also kind of understand why, because who knows, I would have probably abused it, or like maybe I just wasn't meant to do it. Maybe it would subtract like my actual purpose from the equation by going down that road. I don't fucking know. I can only assume, but...
Well, I think it's dangerous as fuck. I think it's probably good that you weren't doing it, because it sounds like you didn't do it with God in your intention.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And so my understanding of it is like we have the physical plane, and then we have the astral plane, which is like, it's like the what is it on fucking Stranger Things?
The upside down.
It's almost like the upside down. It like inhabits the space we're in at the same time, but it's like a higher dimension. It's like the fourth, fifth dimension, essentially.
Or just a mirror. It's like a mirror dimension.
So like it's not just a ghost you leaving your body and looking around the real world. It's like astral you going around and traveling around the astral world. And then in that place, you are essentially more open to unclean spirits, ethereal monsters, because things exist in the astral. Things exist on a higher plane in the ether. And maybe the things in the ether don't fuck with us on the physical plane because we're so small and physical. But once we go into the astral, they're like, ooh, a fish. And they fucking pluck things out of the astral. Like, I don't know, but
I don't think it's possible. Like, you hear some, like, fear-mongers surrounding astral shit. I do not believe it's possible that you go astral projecting and don't come back to your body.
No, I don't.
I do not believe.
I don't
believe
think
that for a second.
I don't think
there's
that.
A cord.
But you'll definitely come back fucked up.
Yes, I do believe that you could 100% get into interactions or just go into spaces that you aren't supposed to be in that have like a certain thing happening.
Or
there,
you bring something back with you that abuses you for the rest of your life.
Something could
nefarious
attach to you
and be unknown.
Yes, if you don't have armor, if you don't have like a certain level of ignorance, even because even some levels of ignorance are like bliss. You know what I mean? Like if you know too much and you're going to some place but you're not fucking armored up, if you don't have like defense against it and you're open and susceptible, for fucking sure something could definitely see you, grow attached to you, and try to fuck with you. Just because.
Well, there's probably also things already sitting there waiting for you to slip up and fuck up. And as soon as you do, they're like, oh, look, God, he did the thing that he's not supposed to do. Now I can fuck with them, right? But also, I've seen people talk about, like, doing this and invoking the protection of angels. And, like, the way they set it up, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, yeah, this seems all right. This is really cool. You know, get the angels' protection. Go with it with fucking God's protection. And then I'm like, wait, no, we don't pray to the angels. We don't ask the angels for stuff. We go straight to God, go straight to Jesus. That's all I need. I don't need no fucking middleman. No disrespect to the angels, but like, I'm not setting up fucking summoning rituals and trying to summon angels for bodyguard. No. If I don't fuck with it at all, but if you're gonna fuck with it, go with God. Go with Jesus.
Angels are, literally. No, I fully agree with what you're saying. Fully. Because, especially from the place where I'm sitting at now. Like, there was old me where I would have not even...
Yeah,
it's because
old
I
me fucked around with
Ouija
board shit, man.
Yeah. Old me wouldn't have wanted to believe you because I wanted that, like, reality to be a thing. Where I could leave my body, go explore different worlds, and fucking just, see shit. And do shit. Like, that I wasn't even supposed to, Old me wanted that. But now understanding what it all is, you can't do that shit and have a good result if you're not fucking armored up.
Right.
Like, it will get you in some way, shape, or form. And people will take that as a challenge, and they'll just be like, yeah, fuck you, or think I don't know what I'm talking about with it all. But I'm pretty fucking experienced in the field of it,
Right.
And I definitely agree with what you're saying. You shouldn't, and by the way, angels aren't our messengers. They're God's messengers.
Right.
We're not supposed to be fucking talking to the angels like that.
Yeah, they don't work for you.
As cool as it is, because angels are the good guys, So it's like, as cool as it is, and you hear stories about like people that have had like near death experiences and they see like hellish type shit, and then an angel comes in and saves them.
Right.
And that makes people want to have like, a relationship with these angels because they saved them. So it's like, I want to be able to talk to that angel. You're not supposed to. That angel was sent by God to fucking save you. You know,
it's doing work.
Like you shouldn't be
work.
petitioning an angel for a fucking thing at all.
Yeah.
Leave the angels alone.
Yeah, go to God, and if he wants it done, he'll send an angel.
Yeah, listen to God, listen to, the Bible, and like just the good old-fashioned sense of goodness. And that's all you gotta do, dude. That's all you gotta do. I know that, like, we have this free will thing, and it kind of seems kind of cool, like, oh, fuck, dude, angels, and especially with, like, how, like, the media portrays shit, and, like, culture, pop culture and shit. Mm-hmm. They display this shit as something that, like, we could, have a relationship with to a benefit, but it's self-serving. Do you understand? It's self-serving, and that's gonna lead to negative shit. It's gonna lead to dark shit. In one way or another,
Right.
And yeah, as far as I totally agree with your take on it, on like a higher perspective. It is dangerous. Now in the Bible, who was it? Ezekiel? I think it was Ezekiel.
Yeah,
he was the one that got taken out of his body and shown the different heavens. And he saw the angels, and that's how we have the depictions of the angels. With the head of the calf, the head of the lion, the head of the eagle, and the head of a man.
Right.
And the four wings, and the eyes on the wings, and fucking the wheels within wheels, and the eyes, and the burning shit, and the fucking wings. And the fucking crazy fucking shit that, like, what the fuck? Now God did that for him, like
I haven't gotten there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the story of it. I'm terrible at retaining, like listed, like, full fucking shit, but I get the general shit pretty good. So I got, like, the general story, which is that Ezekiel was chosen by God to go to heaven and see shit and report back on it for the Bible. And so that's what he did. He had the depiction of the angels. He went to the different heavens and fucking came back. And God also told him not to reveal certain shit. There was like a layer of it that he wasn't supposed to, talk about. He was like, I'm showing you this now, and it's not for you. This is for the future generations. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like you can have. So that's why I think this realm is also as guarded as it is, because there's certain layers of information we're not supposed to fucking have that you would have access to there, but it's to no benefit, and it's to a detriment. Like, that's a different realm. We're here, dog. We're here. Like, this is where we need to be. This is where the war is. This is where the purpose is. This is where it is for us, for now. Once we're in heaven, or whatever, there's different tasks, different battles, different life. But until we're there, this is all we need to be fucking focused with.
Right.
The battle here, and 90% of that battle is going to be against your own fucking flesh. It's not going to be against fucking demons. It's going to be against your own demons, but not like out there shit, So 90% of that battle's in here, and that helps out there, and it helps God's plan.
That made me think of something that I'm going to use as my segue. So I saw there's this good video of like, if you were a time traveler and blah, 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 blah. So this person wants to go back and see Jesus. He goes back to see Jesus, and Jesus is speaking in Aramaic, and he's like, oh, fuck, I don't even know what he's saying. And then when he's done speaking to his people, Jesus turns around and he's like, you're not supposed to be here, and sends him back. And like that made me think of like, that like that information isn't for you. You're not supposed to be there. And maybe in the astral you could see through time a little bit. Who knows?
You definitely can.
But
that's what the whole remote viewer shit's about.
Yeah. The next topic is time magic. Manipulates time, slowing, speeding, etc. Everybody has been expressing this feeling of a lack of enough time, that time seems to be going by quicker, or there's not enough time in the day. Who knows?
I could explain it.
Maybe they're doing some time magic.
I can explain the time magic.
Yeah?
Yes. So, we all already have that built in, and we experience it when? When do we experience that naturally?
I don't know.
We experience it naturally in fight or flight situations. So in combat, time slows down when you first start getting shot at. Or in an accident, time slows down when you first start getting into it. And then once you actually start taking action, time speeds up and it'll go a little bit faster. So the time magic that's being done on us is a direct result of the exploitation of our fight or flight. And that comes from psychological targeting through the media, through events, through politics, through all of that.
That makes a lot of sense.
We've been hijacked. Our nervous system has been hijacked through screens, through information.
Yeah, you see people who aren't hijacked, and they get so much done. And everybody else is like, how do you do so much? And it's
they're
like
hijacked.
It's like they almost literally have more time in their day because they're not hijacked.
Yep.
No, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, think about all the time you spend.
That was divinely given to me.
Like, there's been times where I'm closing the store at the end of the day, and it takes me 3 to 5 minutes if I'm prepared ahead of time, and only got to hit a few buttons. Boom, I'm done. If I'm on my phone scrolling bullshit videos while I'm doing it, sometimes it takes me like 11, 15 minutes before I'm like, holy fuck, why is this taking me so long? I shut my phone and then I finish. And it's like, imagine how much of your day that's happening, where you're just on your phone complacently, like doing something else even. Or, I don't, like, what is it doing it to? Like, maybe the music's doing it to you. Maybe the TV in the background's doing it to you. Maybe all this shit is subtly taking minutes here and there off of your day. It equates to hours. It equates to years.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's a hijacking of our central nervous system. And who are the people that are experiencing this mostly?
The lower classes, because they're seeking
the younger people.
I mean,
younger people, and older people too. But I feel that the older people have a acceleration of time because of the facing their own mortality.
Maybe.
I believe that once they start facing their own mortality, a built-in anxiety happens.
Yeah.
And that speeds time up.
Especially when they fearmonger. They harness the darkness.
Yes.
They use their shadow magic to harness the darkness and direct fear towards these old people.
Yes, that too.
Here, you need a pill because your butthole's falling out. Don't eat this food.
Yep, literally. Literally, dude. Literally. That's exactly how that's their influence on it. Like, we have a built-in, natural, like, kind of cycle for that type of shit. And they figured it out, and they figured out what they needed to do to exploit it, and bingo bango, time magic.
Bingo bango.
But also younger people nowadays on a vast scale are all riddled with psychological and mental disorders. Mostly, namely anxiety and depression.
Yep.
And both of those affect your sense of time, because they hijack your central nervous system and your adrenaline.
Well, and then they put them on medication that also fucking that's magic.
Yes.
That's back to the alchemy.
Yep. Which they're using to influence that cycle. So the reason you're seeing a shit ton of younger people being like, fuck, man. Well, can we attribute any type of mental disorders to these people, first of all?
Yeah.
If the box is checked, then where is that coming from? Is it coming from an outside source such as the TV, information that you've been getting, a belief system that isn't even yours, that was implanted in you through different information that you got? What is it? And I think that if you find that it comes from something like that, then yeah, you've been programmed. And you're hosting a program that is fucking a spell that is fucking with your perception of time. And it's making you either feel paralyzed to it or a slave to it. Because you're not supposed to. God gave us the exact amount of time we need to do everything we need to do in a day. He already gave it to us. It's perfect. Why are we having such a problem?
I wish I had a few more hours in the day.
He's given them to you. He's giving them to you. There's something hijacking your time then.
Yeah, for real.
And it's the same with me though, dude. But mine's more willing. Like I'm a willing contributor to the fuckery of my life. I truly am. And I try not to be. But I am by far my worst enemy. By far.
Alright, we're going back to me sharing my screen for this next one. Because we're back to... kind of already talked about it. Rune magic.
Symbolism.
So yeah, like what we were showing before with the seals of Solomon, those sigils for binding demons, how they were similar to emojis. This is going to be the zooming in of a silicon dye using electros microscope. iPhone CPU, right? So
Yep.
This is a microchip made of silicon, and the process at which they make these is really impressive too. It's like holographic almost.
Yeah.
So just watch how many times this guy zooms in. Like,
Yep.
That's a human hair that they have there. Here, let me go back and stop it.
Each one of those is like transistors and freaking capacitors.
So
and
this
all
right
sorts of
here
shit.
is a human hair for comparison. And so yeah, you saw there was dozens of these rectangles. And then each of these rectangles has a whole city worth of rectangles inside of it. And this is what people were saying about this looks like cities. This is how cities are mapped out. This is like reminiscent of like fucking civil structures. Then you go in, you get even smaller rectangle. This rectangle's full of rectangles. And you go into this one, and this one's full of little rectangles.
Basically, those are all like little mini switches.
Mm-hmm.
At the smallest level, they're all like little mini switches.
And do you think anybody really understands, like, you think somebody mapped that? You think a human being mapped that at that level? Because I fucking doubt it.
I think that what it is it's more like a process that they've learned to understand, and that they just apply it, and then they figure out how to scale.
We're going to see how
Like,
it's
'cause
made.
each one of those little diagrams, like each one of those little tiny squares that you're seeing at the very smallest thing, there's guys out there that are coming up with formulas for shit like that so that they could be better, you know? Like the paths that the electricity would take, or the actual mechanical structure of those.
Ever wonder
and
how the
they
tech
could
in your
be better,
Often
like,
the wafer
material
isn't-
sciences
Ever wonder
wise.
how the tech in your phone starts?
I fucking...
I
wanna
think
mute
that
this shit.
it's taken from the rune magic is foundation.
Fuck it.
It's a foundational magic, I believe. And that's why they're able to do this type of shit. It's a foundational understanding of the magic. So it comes down to the bones and the building blocks and the very simple rudimentary understandings, but they could be extrapolated to extremes, and this is a form of that. This is a super extreme where they can go micro, macro, fractal style on this shit, and fucking, it's all because of a huge understanding of the rune magic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's beyond me. But other rune magic, I would see, it'd be like books, like the Bible.
Yeah.
Like that's rune magic. I don't know. The newspaper, everything you read.
Yep.
They're all runes, right?
It's pretty much like spelling. And spelling, what is spelling? It's like fucking, it's structuring, right? Spelling is structuring. It's taking different things, putting them together into one thing that works.
There's a reason that you spell words. There's something to that that's significant.
Yeah, you're putting them together. You're putting together pieces into a coherent thing.
You cast spells,
order out
you
of
spell
chaos.
words. So the last one is illusion magic, which I feel like this whole time we've been talking about. The illusion
pretty much.
that it's not magic. The illusion that all of this
Matrix.
is reality. The illusion that it's all just science and explainable and not malicious and
Yep.
like illusion
All
magic
they gotta do
alters
is-
sight, sound, or reality perception.
Yep. All of these magics, by the way, are all encapsulated and brought to a new level through technology, through the internet and through the digital space.
Yeah, they're
These
loving it.
magics are now upped. This is like a magnifier
See, it's like
to magic.
they can't shut it down because it's their greatest asset. It's helping them
Literally.
succeed in their goal better than anything else ever has. But also, it is outing them, and it's causing the most danger for their goal than anything else ever has.
And that's the true reason behind the coming cyber pandemic.
Yeah.
They need to get us on board with relinquishing our freedom of internet.
Yeah.
And as soon as we agree to that because of some crazy existential thing, which it will be crazy, and it will be very existential when it happens, people are going to demand for Internet 2.0, though. The sheep will. They're going to demand it for safety and security.
Yeah. So,
And as soon as that freedom goes away for our side, then the dark side just gets to run fucking rampant and use it for exactly what they want it to be used for, which is to cast their spells and manipulate and control.
yeah. Yeah, that's the whole plot, this whole thing.
Like,
Control.
we gotta be the fucking good guys. We gotta be the good wizards, dog.
I would never, ever call myself a wizard.
Metaphorically speaking.
Nah, I associate wizards and warlocks and witches with pedophilia, and I'm not about it.
Well, that's on you. Not all of them are fucking.
I don't know. I don't think you can say that word on the internet. I might have to bleep that out.
Yeah. Schmedischmiles. Chomos.
Well,
That's what they call them in jail.
yeah. I was gonna go through the D&D magics, but that's all I got in me.
Wasn't that the D&D magics? What we just did?
That's literature magic. D&D magic is abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and transmutation. Which is the more magic-y magic.
Yeah. But all of that is very applicable.
Transmutation is
we could
turning
break that down
matter
into what it is.
Into something else.
Yeah.
Illusion
That's
we
like
talked
fucking
about.
alchemy.
Necromancy we talked about. Evocation. Creating energy and matter such as destructive spells or healing. That's like the weather control. Elemental control. It's the evocation. Enchantment, we talked about that. Divination. Acquiring information and revealing secrets. So divination, you could say like the sentient world simulation, or even if you don't want to believe in that, like just the ability to harness all the data that one is able to harness from the internet and then compile it into AI and project future statistics and algorithm based on that data to predict business plans and moves. Like, let's just call it the sentient world simulation. Let's just call it what it is.
What is the sentient world simulation, Dave?
I mean, the ability for people to fucking use the data that is proliferating the internet. Everybody just gives up freely. You accept and sign away in your terms and conditions everything that they want to know about you. They can get it, and they use it to fucking project business ideas or
to create
governmental
a
ideas
digital
or
world.
Basically anything they want to test out, they can test it through this
your information
mega computer. So with that, you can call that divination.
It's like a counterfeit.
It's like that movie GoldenEye, or not GoldenEye. I think it was GoldenEye. I don't remember anymore. They had like this big fucking computer that basically ran their government because it was
Hawkeye. Or no, Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I remember it sounded like a James Bond thing.
It's Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
GoldenEye is the James Bond.
I know. But it was like a golden eye also. Like the thing was a golden eye. But yeah. And that's the sentient world simulation. That's magic. That's a thing. Even if it's not sentient and an entire world simulation, we're just gonna call it that. They have a rudimentary version of that if they don't have that already. Like because with the AI, with the living brain microchips, like they can have something really fucking close.
The sentient world simulation
Palantir
is their attempt at a natural thing. It's their dark avatar of the natural. You could call it. I don't want to say Akashic Records, but kind of. Don't. Because there is a field that prevails reality that has all the information in it. It's consciousness. So what they're doing is they are creating their own version of that is self-serving and controllable and manipulatable, and that they can punch in whatever parameters they want and come up with whatever answers they want, because the field, you have to actually learn how to tap into that, and God is at the helm of that. So some information you won't be able to get through there, so they're bypassing God through this sentient world simulation.
So this idea that you're talking about is that like ideas are energy. Energy isn't created or destroyed. So even things as simple as ideas, thoughts, and emotions are just out there flying through the ether. And when you have an idea, if you don't seize that and opportunize, if that's even a word, if you don't fucking do something about that idea, if you just let it go and forget about it, somebody else is going to have that idea. Like it doesn't just go away. Eventually somebody will have it. And if it's
what you just said though with this idea thing, dude, they have found this to be an actual thing where there are monkeys that what they'll do is they'll have monkeys in a certain area and they will learn to use a certain tool
Right.
for like whatever, to like get ants or to get fucking food in some type of way, or to make their bedding or something. They come up with a idea for a tool, and then all of a sudden monkeys scattered around the world
Oh yeah.
start picking
yeah.
up the same fucking thing. Mm-hmm. So across the collective consciousness of monkey,
Yep.
this fucking idea hit this one group of monkey first, yes, and they're using it, but it's spread. So any idea that you have that you aren't putting to use is not just your own idea. That's a thing that's being purveyed to fucking all.
Which that sounds pretty magic to me.
So whoever's got the antenna will pick it up and do it. So it was beamed to you, which means that you were
Right.
supposed to do it, but you didn't for whatever reason.
Right. So now if
But
you
someone
have
else out there is going to get it and fucking do it.
So now if you have AI that can tap into that collective consciousness and faster and more thoroughly than a human could filter through the ideas straight
Yes.
from the collective consciousness and pick out the good ones and the successful ones, and you'd say, well, it doesn't have the ability to tap into it because it's not living, it's not biological. What about when they start, or already have started, creating the computers with living human brain microprocessing chips? They're making processors out of human brain cells that they're growing in labs, and then the brains themselves are growing eyeballs, unprompted, undirected, no influence, no reason. The brains want to see, so they grow eyeballs. It's fucking crazy. Tell me that thing's not going to be able to tap into the same collective consciousness you're tapping into because it's a human brain. Like, start
That's their
siphoning
workaround
ideas
for that shit.
Like,
yeah.
that's pretty fucking magic.
Dude, the brains in jars would be fucked.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that really all they really need then is just VR. You know?
Yeah.
Because then we're going to be the brains in jars anyway.
Yeah.
It'll be the Matrix, the actual Matrix,
Yeah.
the movie The Matrix.
Yeah, it'd
where
be
you
a
see
planet
Neo in
planet
the
full of
pod,
brains in jars.
hooked into his fucking reptilian brain.
Yeah, except for they don't need to keep you alive because they aren't using us as batteries.
Well,
So if
that
they
would
want,
be the battery for them.
yeah,
is
if they
for that
want to, they could
creative-
have the brain. All you need is a brain. You don't need a body.
That's the actual battery.
Yeah.
But maybe you do need the actual body, you know? Or maybe it's just easier.
The computers will figure out how to keep your brain alive without a body.
I think that they would just rather have the body, because I think that your body is part of the equation to being an antenna.
I don't
being
think it
able to do
personally.
all
I
the
don't
shit.
think it'll ever get to that point because Jesus.
I think
come on,
that
stop it all.
a Sodom and Gomorrah fucking meteor would hit us first.
Yeah, something. Gotta do something
Dude,
about that.
the proof of Sodom and Gomorrah is crazy. The fucking little sulfur balls.
Yeah.
Millions upon millions upon millions of them. Pure. Like pure.
That's that
Sulfur
divine
balls
magic
found
we were
all
talking
in that area.
about.
Yeah, literally. Literally. That's good. No. That's God magic.
Yeah.
Divine magic is like, cutesy shit.
God is divine.
magic is like ending whole shits.
Yeah.
Or starting all new shit.
We're starting new shit. Whole new shits.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was our new shit for you.
Yep. We just went so fucking deep. I don't even know if you guys will be able to.
That is a concise definition of magic. All the different kinds of magic. How you can apply that to reality and start to see the magic that is in the real world. Because we live in a magic place. And though the powers that be seem to be harnessing this magic for negative influence and gain, as long as you're aware, you can be less affected by it. And definitely don't go fucking trying to harness that shit for yourself for negative means, or we'll come after you.
No service to self.
But
before you start doing anything of that nature, you better dive into a good book.
Yeah, go with God. Just pray for God's magic, because it's the most powerful magic. God says he gave you his powers. So go with God, read the Bible. Do not fear. Fear not, for God is with us.
Fear not.
All this crazy shit, they can't do shit to you. That's why they're trying so hard. They're pulling every playbook in the magic book. They got the Necronomicon. They're fucking slinging every spell. They can't stop God. So, fucking see you guys on the next one.
Much love. Stay magical.